soaking your feet. Could this simple method help reduce joint pain and varicose veins? My grandma is 97 years old, and she had that problem too. When her joints felt stiff and her feet were swollen, she rarely went to the doctor because she didn't want long treatments and the high medical costs that come with them. After her daily walk with her little dog, she often soaks her feet in this red onion water every evening. Besides that, she also has another homemade oil recipe for joint support, which I'll share in the second part of this video. Before we begin, may God bless you and your family. Let's get started. To prepare this foot soak, we only need 2 simple ingredients from the kitchen: red onion and rosemary. Red onion is a familiar kitchen ingredient. Almost every home has it. But the peels are usually the part people remove and throw away immediately. My grandma doesn't. She says those thin peels retain natural warmth, and when boiled for foot soaking, they help warm the feet and reduce joint stiffness. For her, this isn't anything special or advanced, just a way to use what's already available to help the body feel more comfortable each evening. Rosemary has long been used to support joints and muscles. My grandma says the warm scent and natural oils of rosemary help increase the feeling of warmth, make joints less stiff, and feel more comfortable, especially in cold weather. Now I place the red onion peels into a pot and add 3 rosemary leaves. This combination is very gentle. The onion peels provide deep warmth, while rosemary helps the joints loosen. I pour about 2 liters of water into the pot and bring it to a gentle boil. My grandma says this amount is just right to slowly draw out the essence. Not too strong, not too weak. Once it boils, she lowers the heat so the warmth spreads evenly before use. While waiting for the water to boil, adds about 80 grams of pink salt. She says salt helps cleanse and warm the feet, allowing the body to relax more quickly during soaking. Now I pour about 3 liters of the boiled water into the basin. And stir until the salt fully dissolves. Once the salt dissolves completely, the soak feels gentler and more comfortable for the feet, helping the body relax before soaking. Finally, I add about 150 milliliters of apple cider vinegar. My grandma says apple cider vinegar gently cleanses the skin, reduces odor, and helps the soak absorb better. When combined with red onion peels and rosemary, the feet feel lighter and joints feel more comfortable after soaking. I stir everything together so the mixture blends evenly. The red onion soak is now ready to be poured into the basin. The water turns a soft, light reddish color, warm to the eyes, and carries a pleasant rosemary scent. Beyond foot soaking, this aroma also helps calm the mind and feel lighter before bedtime. My grandma says once the body relaxes, sleep comes more easily. When placing the feet into the basin, the first feeling is true comfort. The warmth spreads slowly from the feet to the ankles, then gradually toward the knees. My grandma usually soaks for about 30 minutes before bed. She says this is enough time for the body to fully relax and there's no need for longer. During soaking, the feet soften and the feeling of heaviness fades. The warm water and gentle rosemary scent calm the mind and slow everything down. She sometimes rubs a few rosemary leaves from the basin over her soles and heels. She says rosemary helps warm and relax the feet, supporting gentle circulation so the feet feel more comfortable and flexible. While soaking, she massages lightly, never forcefully, just gentle strokes. Once the feet are cared for, the whole body relaxes along with them. She says foot soaking isn't only about healthier feet, but about calming the mind so that when she lies down, sleep arrives gently each night. After 30 minutes, she lifts her feet out and dries them with a soft towel. My grandma always dries carefully, the soles, the heels, and between each toe. She says drying slowly helps keep the warmth in so the feet don't become cold again right away. She once told me that when people grow weaker, it's not just the body, it's the feeling of becoming a burden. She said, I'm not afraid of getting old. I'm afraid of being stuck in one place and making my children worry. That's why she cares for her body through very small things. After foot soaking, she takes out a small bottle of oil, a quiet secret she uses every evening, which I'll share next. She doesn't use much, just a small amount, warmed in her palms, then applied to the ankles, knees, and feet. As she massages gently, I feel the warmth spreading slowly. She says this is the best time to apply oil because the feet are already warm and the skin is softer, allowing deeper absorption. On days when her hands feel stiff or cold, she applies a little to her wrists and fingers, massaging slowly in circles. For her, that gentle warmth is a sign the body is relaxing and the joints are settling before sleep. Now comes the part of making the oil, and the first ingredient is still red onion. My grandma says red onion isn't just for cooking. When used in oil, its warmth and essence are preserved more clearly. This is a step she uses for deeper joint care, especially on cold days. I remember her once saying she knew red onion was good, so she even thought about growing some in the backyard. But then she laughed, shook her head, and said growing red onions isn't easy. It takes the right soil and weather. She said you don't need to grow a lot, you just need to know how to use what you already have in the kitchen. Since my grandpa began having joint pain, my grandma started learning many things from the kitchen. Beyond cloves, she discovered that red onion peels are very valuable. She says onion peels are rich in antioxidants that help soothe swelling and stiffness, especially in cold weather. Not to cure instantly, but to gently warm and reduce discomfort over time. The way she has cared for my grandpa's joints each day. Now we prepare a glass jar for double boiling. Next comes the garlic. I take a few cloves, place them on the cutting board, and press gently with the flat side of the knife. Just one firm press, and the peel comes off easily. This is another small tip I learned from my grandma. She has many little tricks like this, never written down, never taught formally, just quietly practiced every day. Each day I'm with her, I learn something new. Once I said, "Grandma, teach me everything." She just smiled and said the experience of a lifetime can't be passed on all at once. My grandma says when garlic is crushed, it creates a compound known for reducing inflammation, and inflammation is at the root of joint pain. Garlic isn't as strong as medicine, but it's gentle, steady, and with consistent use, the body feels the benefits gradually. There's no need to chop it too finely. Just break the structure so when heated, the warmth slowly draws out the essence. Finally, olive oil is essential. My grandma learned about olive oil long ago from health programs on TV, where experts said it's good for the heart, joints, and helps gently reduce inflammation. She once told me people say olive oil has something that keeps joints from drying and stiffening. She doesn't remember the scientific name, only that it helps carry the essence deeper and makes the mixture gentle. When used for foot massage or joints, she says the warmth feels just right and the joints relax more, especially on cold days. For her, olive oil isn't a quick fix. It's the foundation that helps everything work together. Now I pour about 150 milliliters of olive oil into the jar, just enough to cover the ingredients. My olive oil looks a little unusual. You can watch the previous video to see why. While working, I think about an elderly neighbor who is 78 years old. He can no longer walk and spends his days in a wheelchair. Every time my grandma comes back from the market, she sees him sitting quietly, staring out the window. She told me she never wants to end up sitting still like that, watching time pass. That's why she focuses on small habits, cooking, making oil, massaging her feet every night. Not to become strong overnight, but to keep the body willing to move and willing to take a few more steps each day. After adding the oil, I stir gently so everything blends together. My grandma says to stir slowly, allowing the oil to coat each ingredient. So when heated, everything infuses gently without harshness. Before placing the glass jar into the pot for double boiling, she places a towel at the bottom. She says this prevents direct contact with the pot, allowing even heat and preventing cracks. She's careful with small things like this. She says caring for the body is the same. No rushing, no force, just patience and safety. Now we heat on medium for about 15 minutes. My grandma says this time is enough to gently draw out the essence without overheating the oil. She once told me she began caring for her joints before pain arrived, not waiting until knees hurt or legs stiffened. She started early and stayed consistent because she wanted to keep cooking, stepping into the yard, and walking the dog each morning. She says joy in old age isn't doing big things. It's still being able to do very small ones. Before storing the oil, she always sterilizes the glass jar carefully. After heating, I remove the jar and let it cool naturally for about an hour. My grandma always says not to rush. She says keeping even small things clean helps the body feel lighter and fight less. We may not always do big things for health, but doing small things well each day is already care. I strain out the onion, garlic, leaving only the clear oil. She says applying oil after soaking allows better absorption and a more comfortable warmth. On days when her knees or ankles feel stiff, she massages a little longer and wears thin socks to keep warm. This oil can also be used on hands, wrists, and fingers, especially when they feel cold, stiff, or tired from weather or daily tasks. The oil doesn't remove pain instantly, but it helps joints feel warmer, move more easily, and gradually reduces tension. She usually applies it in the evening before bed. She says when the joints are cared for first, sleep becomes deeper, and the body feels lighter in the morning. For her, this isn't medicine. It's a small daily habit that keeps the body from being neglected. If you're caring for your own joints or for someone you love, remember her words. You don't need to do a lot. Just do it right. Do it consistently. And do it with patience. I think my grandma stays strong because of a few other simple habits she's kept for years. She always goes to bed at a fixed time at 9 p.m., and she doesn't stay up late watching TV. About an hour before sleep, she turns off screens, no phone, no television. So her sleep could come naturally. She also reminds me to keep the body hydrated. Sometimes it's as simple as squeezing one fresh lemon into water, and staying hydrated supports how the body feels day to day. Movement matters too, not intense workouts, just gentle daily activity like a slow walk, light stretching, moving around the kitchen, or tending plants. And one thing she's strict about is limiting sugary foods. Too much sugar, she says, makes the body weaker over time. By the way, I hope you're feeling well today and taking a little time to care for yourself too. Where are you watching this video from? I always love hearing where our Tom Tips friends are in the world. It makes this little kitchen feel more connected.